Is Canelo washed up now at 35 years old?
Oh, I don't know. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear on the body. Maybe so.
Mayweather, in a recent interview, stirred controversy with his comments on the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford bout. He stated that while he himself earned money by winning, Canelo was allegedly given a huge payday to take a loss. According to Mayweather, some fighters end up trading their legacy for financial gain. He emphasized that his own path was different. These remarks have added fuel to the already tense dynamic between Mayweather and Crawford, especially after Floyd publicly challenged Crawford to a fight and hinted that Canelo's defeat was influenced by outside deals.
You in there, or do you think we've got...
I don't know. But, I'm glad that I'm able to just still be able to entertain for the people, and you still get a chance to see just a glimpse of me.
This came right after Floyd Mayweather's public challenge to Terence Crawford for a potential 2026 showdown, a move that Crawford quickly dismissed. In a tweet that has since been deleted, Mayweather shared his betting slip and then teased fans with the idea of a battle of the GOATs, asking, "Who wouldn't want to see me versus Bud?" Crawford's reply, however, made it clear he wasn't interested in entertaining the notion.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
I don't know. I thought you'd hesitate maybe even a bit, but no.
Nah, not at all. That's one of my favorite fighters.
Using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But, his core personality and his way.
Mayweather's frustration with Crawford's dismissive reply seemed to spark his latest remarks. He argued that he ranks above both Canelo Alvarez and Mike Tyson, pointing out that each of them accepted huge paydays in high-profile fights, Canelo against Crawford and Tyson against Jake Paul, only to suffer defeats. Floyd insisted that Canelo, in particular, could have performed much better, claiming he held back because of financial incentives. These comments have stirred plenty of debate in the boxing community, especially since Mayweather and Crawford were once seen as close allies. Adding to the drama, Floyd had actually placed a bet against Canelo in that fight. Despite the history between them, Mayweather appeared unsettled by members of Crawford's camp, suggesting that Crawford is now the superior fighter. Boxing comparisons are nothing new, but few match the controversy sparked by the ongoing debate over Terence "Bud" Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather.
That you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
The rivalry talk picked up again after Terence Crawford's impressive win over Canelo Alvarez at Allegiant Stadium, a victory that cemented him as the first male fighter in the four-belt era to claim undisputed status across 3 weight classes. What should have been a night of pure celebration quickly turned into a global talking point when Canelo, during the post-fight press conference, made a bold statement. He believed Crawford was superior to Floyd Mayweather. That single remark set off a wave of reactions in the boxing world, and Crawford's trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, wasted no time adding fuel to the debate.
I saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. Everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
During a conversation with Fight Hub TV, Crawford's coach Brian "Bomac" McIntyre showed up sporting a cap that read "GAT" and didn't shy away from sharing his views. He firmly stated that in his eyes, Terence Crawford is the greatest of all time. McIntyre stressed that Crawford's rise isn't just about individual talent. It's the product of a dedicated team that helped him conquer 3 weight classes in dominant fashion. When pressed about Canelo's comment comparing Crawford to Mayweather, his response was direct. "Who, Terence?" "Of course he is. Without a doubt, he's better."
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
I don't know. I thought you'd hesitate maybe even a bit, but no.
For McIntyre, the debate is straightforward. He believes Crawford has already surpassed what Mayweather achieved inside the ring. Yet Crawford himself has handled the situation with far more composure and diplomacy. Following his points victory over Alvarez, Crawford chose not to get dragged into a head-to-head legacy clash. His words were measured. Floyd was the best of his time. I'm the best of mine. There's no need for comparisons. While Crawford's response carried respect for Mayweather, it hasn't stopped fans and analysts from keeping the argument alive.
Who you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
After all, Mayweather had already beaten a young Canelo back in 2013, while Crawford faced and defeated a far more seasoned version of the Mexican star, a fact that adds fuel to this fresh narrative. Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith also weighed in, bringing another layer to the debate. In his view, Crawford's greatness doesn't just come from outboxing Canelo on a technical level, but also from standing his ground, exchanging punches, absorbing pressure, and emerging even stronger. Still, Smith drew a distinction when it came to Mayweather, pointing out that Floyd was a master of defense, an elusive fighter who was nearly impossible to hit cleanly.
Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, it's like Crawford said.
According to Smith, that's the key distinction. Crawford proved his grit by adapting under fire and showing resilience, while Mayweather's reputation was built on an almost unbreakable defense. The boxing world remains split. Some argue Crawford has already surpassed Floyd, while others insist Mayweather's defensive brilliance can't be matched. What's clear is that both men defined their respective eras and elevated the sport with very different styles. The debate over Crawford versus Mayweather is only just heating up. With Canelo's bold remarks and McIntyre's unwavering support, the conversation is sure to dominate headlines for some time. One thing, however, is beyond dispute. Terence "Bud" Crawford has already secured his place among the legends of boxing.
Crawford against Mayweather, right? How do you think a fight between both of them turn out?
If Mayweather gets hit with Crawford like I hit him and rocked, it might not end well for Mayweather. They might be over it. But Mayweather could outbox Crawford, I think, because Crawford has the mindset that I'm trying to knock you out, and Mayweather knows how to play to that I'm trying to knock you out type of thing, because he's used to people coming at him trying to hit him hard all the time.
Back in 2010, Shane Mosley gave everything he had in an attempt to take down Floyd Mayweather. Despite the rivalry, Mosley has always acknowledged just how extraordinary Floyd was in the ring. These days, Mayweather proudly calls himself TBE, the best ever. While Mosley isn't completely convinced by that label, he admits it's hard to name many fighters in history who could match Floyd's skill set. Terence Crawford has often been part of that conversation, but after his recent victory over Canelo Alvarez, Mosley finally went a step further. Speaking with Fight Hub TV, he declared that Crawford isn't just on Mayweather's level. He believes Bud has surpassed him. I think Crawford is better, Mosley said. I'd say he's the more complete fighter overall.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right hands.
I like Crawford's style of fighting, the way he's gonna come after him. Mayweather. Okay, let's do this. Money Mayweather, I think Crawford beats.
Okay. Pretty boy.
Pretty boy. I don't know. I think Pretty Boy, it might be Pretty Boy. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, because he's more aggressive.
Heading into Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas with added muscle on his frame, many doubted whether Crawford could pull it off. Shane Mosley himself admitted he didn't think Bud had a chance. After all, Crawford is nearly 3 years older than Alvarez and had spent recent years competing 2 or 3 weight classes below him. But none of that mattered, as Crawford earned a hard-fought yet decisive victory. Mayweather also defeated Alvarez, though that was over a decade ago when Canelo was still developing. With Crawford now holding undisputed titles in 3 separate divisions, the conversation among fans and pundits has shifted into dream matchup territory. Who would win, Mayweather or Crawford in their primes? During his career, Floyd often reminded critics with his trademark line, 50 tried, and 50 failed.
Because Canelo after the fight said that Crawford is way better than Floyd. You know Crawford, you know Canelo, you know Floyd. What do you think? Who would win in a fight?
My man. I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with...
Mosley went even further, saying that if Crawford had been Mayweather's 51st opponent, he believes Bud would have been the one to break the streak. Mayweather was incredible. You can't take that away from him, Mosley admitted. But I think Crawford would have had the advantage. He's longer, bigger, and it would have been tough for Floyd to counter him. At the same time, Mosley acknowledged that while Crawford has strong defensive instincts, Mayweather elevated defensive boxing to a level that was nearly flawless. In the end, it's all hypothetical, a fantasy matchup that fuels the never-ending debate among boxing fans.
It's a talented fighter, and that challenge for him pushed him even harder to train harder and to be better. That challenge, went up against Canelo, moving up 2 divisions, hearing that people are saying, oh, he didn't look too good against Madrimov, so how could he look good at 68? Well, that motivated more, man. He trained hard. He did.
So how might a showdown between a prime Terence Crawford and a prime Floyd Mayweather actually play out? The opening round would likely be tense, with both fighters taking time to measure distance and study each other's movements. Crawford, known for his activity and adaptability, could start faster, letting his hands go in landing shots, even if many were deflected off Mayweather's trademark shoulder roll and tight guard. By the middle rounds, though, Floyd's rhythm and precision would begin to show. His jab, timing, and ability to control pace would allow him to rack up points, forcing Crawford to adjust and find new openings. Still, Crawford's relentless pressure and explosive power could begin to wear on Mayweather as the fight progressed, even forcing the defensive master into uncomfortable spots. While Mayweather's precision and craft would always keep him competitive, Crawford's sharp combinations and volume might ultimately sway the judges. In such a razor-close matchup, his aggression and ability to land meaningful shots could edge him toward a narrow decision victory. And while Crawford himself remained humble in the wake of his career-defining triumph over Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed crown, the boxing world hasn't been nearly as quiet. Debates over his place in history, and whether he surpassed even Floyd Mayweather, continue to dominate conversations across the sport.
Where does Canelo go from here, Henry?
He needs to rematch. If I'm Canelo, I want to rematch Terence Crawford. He got schooled, bro. He got outboxed, dude, by Terence Crawford. And I know that he's itching to get that one back. The first time he fought Triple G, and he came back the second time, and he legit beat Triple G.
Once in a lifetime fight. It doesn't need to be a rematch. I think Bud would do worse the next fight. He would put it on Canelo.
Many viewed this fight as the one that could determine who truly stood as the best boxer of the post-Mayweather and Pacquiao generation. With his latest victory, Terence Crawford seemed to make that statement loud and clear, even with respect to other modern greats like Alexander Usyk and Naoya Inoue. Crawford has now joined rare company, becoming just the 6th male fighter to capture titles across 5 weight divisions, and the first in the 4-belt era to unify 3 of them. This past weekend's win over Alvarez, boxing's biggest global star of the last decade and pound-for-pound #1 as recently as 2022, not only elevated Crawford's financial standing, but far more importantly, solidified his place among the sport's all-time elite.
Work on what you need to work on. Put your head down and grind. You get results like this.
I noticed that when I was watching the fight that Terence Crawford specifically, whichever side that Canelo threw at him, Terence would respond with a shot from that side as well. Did you see that in the tape that you watched of Canelo as a weakness where he was
When asked if his accomplishments matched those of Floyd Mayweather, Crawford brushed off the comparison. Floyd was the best of his era and I'm the best of mine. There's no need to compare, he told reporters at the post-fight press conference. but the debate reignited shortly after. Roughly 15 minutes later, Alvarez, gracious in defeat and full of respect for Crawford, was pressed on which fighter he believed was superior. The question carried extra weight given that Alvarez had suffered his first professional loss at age 23 to Mayweather.
A little worse than that because that style of fight, I don't think he beats someone like Terence Crawford. But if I'm Terence Crawford, of course I'll fight him again. But this time, I'm the A side. I think Terence Crawford is going to be more confident next time, knowing that I can punch with this guy. I can take his shot. I'm faster.
He fought Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
He didn't do what the last two did, just run. He threw it.
Crawford deserves all the credit. I gave it my best tonight, but couldn't solve his style. He had everything, Alvarez admitted afterward. He went a step further, adding, I think Crawford is much better than Floyd Mayweather. Until they fight, this debate will continue. Interestingly, Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently revealed plans for an exhibition bout against Mike Tyson, suggesting that any potential clash with Crawford would have to wait until after that event.
Good. You can't fight. It's almost impossible to fight him clean. It's almost impossible to win
Canelo,
and fight him clean.
When
you can't
see
fight
the
clean
fight,
with
you'll
him.
see Canelo wasn't exactly clean in that fight.
You can't fight this guy clean. That's the credit on how masterful he is. You have to be dirty. You gotta be rough. You have to use the elbows, head.
Two icons of the sport are set to share the ring once again in an exhibition bout planned for next year. While an exact date and venue have yet to be confirmed, the target window is spring 2026. The news first surfaced via TMZ, with Uncrowned later backing up the report. Mike Tyson himself announced the matchup on X, teasing fans with a promotional poster. As an exhibition, the fight won't impact either man's official record, a relief for Mayweather, who still proudly holds a spotless 50-0 professional resume. The event is being billed as legend versus legend, adding to the hype. Still, it raises eyebrows. Tyson, now 59, returned to the ring in 2024, but suffered a lackluster defeat to Jake Paul. Before that, his last sanctioned professional fight took place back in 2005.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are fighting each other. Let me say it again. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are actually fighting each other. Not a drill, not a prank. This is actually happening. TMZ Sports has...
Now is the boxing world is crazy. Hold on, I have to see this. Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson agreed to super fight. Legend versus legend. You got to be shitting me. Sorry to all the showbiz kids out there. Two of the greatest boxers of...
Mayweather, now 48. Last fought professionally in 2017, but has kept active with several high-profile exhibitions, including his clash with Logan Paul. His most recent outing came in August of last year against John Gotti III, a rematch following their first encounter, which had been cut short after a wild brawl broke out between both camps. Not everyone was thrilled by the latest announcement, though. Roy Jones Jr., who has spent months publicly calling out Mayweather for a fight of his own, reacted negatively to the Tyson exhibition news. Clearly frustrated, Jones criticized the matchup and even took the chance to mock Mayweather once again.
Do you respect the Floyd 50-0, or is it like...
You gotta respect anything a person does and stay undefeated that long. So I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50-0 that I think, oh, he the greatest fighter all the time? Nah. Chavez was 80-0 at one point. 80. He could retire to 80-0. You go up atop that? No.
Jones may have hoped for a response, but Money Mayweather brushed him aside and instead chose to lock in the Tyson exhibition. That's it for now. For the latest updates, highlights, and stories from the boxing world, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next upload. Stay tuned. We've got plenty more big moments coming your way.